Hello everybody, my name is Miss Vanessa and I'd like to welcome you guys to another STEAM program online. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about sound and vibrations. And to do this, I have this old piece of technology here. I don't know if you guys have this at home or not, but this is a vinyl record. Your parents might have these, or maybe they're in your basement and they haven't been touched for years and years. But a vinyl record is used to create music. And when we look at this, we wouldn't necessarily think this is something to play music on, but vinyl records actually use a really interesting concept to create sound. So on here, there's all these circles, and each one of these circles have little ridges on them, and they are used to create sound waves. So when you place this on a turntable and you turn it at just the right speed, and you place a needle on here, it actually creates music because it uses the little tiny bumps on here to shake and vibrate that needle in order to create the specific sounds it's trying to create. So today, I wanted to create something that is going to try to recreate the sounds that this makes. And I wouldn't necessarily do this with some vinyl records that you have at home. I would try to find some that you aren't trying to discard. This is an old one that we have here. I have Christmas with the Chipmunks. And the thing that happens if you try to do this and you mess up and you start to scratch the vinyl record, it ruins the original sounds that it's supposed to create. But I'm going to try to create something to help us create the sound. So this is what we're going to need. I've got some pencils here. I've got paper, some tape, and some rubber bands just in case. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil, and in the middle here of our vinyl record, there is a hole. And I'm going to stick my pencil through this hole and try to get it to stay there. And so if our pencil's moving up and down, we can actually put a rubber band at the bottom of this to secure it in place. Okay, so that's going to keep our pencil steady without it moving up and down. And I'm going to place that to the side. And now I'm going to create a cone using some paper. Okay, and it's going to look something like this. And so I'm going to tape this in place. The last thing I'm going to need is a teeny tiny needle. So the thinner the needle is, the better. And I am going to stick this through the end of our cone at kind of like a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to make sure it's passing through both sides of these cones, because when the vibrations hit this cone, it's going to amplify the sound so that it comes out of the paper here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try to spin this. And when we spin a record, it's got to be done clockwise. So it goes in this direction. So if I place my cone here, I'm going to try to touch as little of this cone as possible so that the most sound can come out of this. And I'm going to place it right onto our record and see if we can create any sound. So we're getting some sound. It's definitely not the sound that is intended, but we are getting the vibrations from these circles here to create sound. Let's see if we can try to get the right spin rate and try to keep our needle steady enough to see if we can make out anything on our record. Here's another idea I had. I was thinking maybe if we tape our cone here to something, maybe it'll stay more steady, and we'll see if it'll create the right kind of sound. Okay, so what I've done now is I've added an extra rubber band to the top of this. So I was noticing that our record was kind of moving in a wibbly wobbly motion. So I wanted to keep the record as straight as possible. And another factor is my spinning isn't super consistent. So there's not much I can do about that because that's just human error. But I have placed our cone here so that I'm not trying to move two things at once. So let's see if we can get the right sound to come out of this record. Okay, so it's definitely much, much closer to the intended sound. I can almost hear like the chipmunks singing. So let's keep going and see if we can get the perfect spin. Okay, so I heard, okay, let's sing in, I think, Alvin's voice. We're getting super close to making perfect sounding music. Here, well, let's try again. Okay, so it looks like we are on side 2. And our third song is Frosty the Snowman. So there's these little pauses in a vinyl record where you can see exactly where each song is. So I'm going to see if we can hear some of Frosty the Snowman. Oh, it's so close. Alright, I'm really, really excited. So we were definitely able to get it to make the sound that it's supposed to make. So I would call this a success. So I had a lot of fun actually testing this out. I didn't know if it was going to work 100% because every time I tested it out before this, I was never able to get the perfect sound to come out. but I was able to kind of finagle this to make it work, and it was a lot of fun to do it. So if you guys have records at home that you're trying to get rid of, this is a really cool experiment that you can do using some household items. If you're going to do this at home, make sure that you have an adult present, especially if you're going to be using a needle. I want you guys to be safe whenever you're doing any science at home. If you do end up trying it, try to take a video and see if you can listen to the sounds that you're making. And I hope you guys had fun. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!